Hi, I'm Dani, and today I'm going to make a mixed media collage that kind of reminds me of the Santa Monica Mountains. So you'll see why. Just stick around, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel, and I would so appreciate it. And thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Enjoy. Hello! So I just came off of finishing a series of videos about my values, which was a really great experience because I feel like really becoming solid and identifying and describing and really understanding one's own values can really guide you in your purpose or your mission in whatever it is you're doing, you know, in a project or in an organization or as an artist or just like as a person in the world. I recently heard from someone very special to me say, how would the person I want to be do the thing I'm about to do? When I think about that statement, it's all about knowing your values and using them to guide your actions and to really provide that, like, why are you doing something factor, which can fuel how genuine something is and how powerful it is and how much it connects to other people. So with that being said, that was a great experience creating those videos where I really thought about what my core values are at Calico Flower Studio, as well as in my life, just, you know, being me. But however, I am excited to and looking forward to making art and just talking to you about whatever is on my mind. With that being said, I want to talk to you about what my plan is for today. You know, I'm thinking about the most recent newsletter that I sent out, which you can sign up for my newsletter at the link in my description for this video. It's basically like this vlog, except in written form, and it's a little more concise, but not as visual. But, you know, I was talking about a really an interesting day that I had where I was having a lot of feelings, you know, feelings not necessarily pleasant. Nonetheless, I was feeling them, and in that moment, oh, there's a siren. Oh, more. I can see them outside. Anyway, I was recognizing those feelings and I was aware of them, and because of that I recognized that I really just needed some time for myself to make art and to just feel my feelings. So on that day that I'm describing, I did create a piece in my visual journal. This is a handmade journal. I created this journal using upcycled envelopes. And actually I have more of these journals available on my website, but I've been using it as a visual journal. You can use it for lots of things, but on that day in my visual journal I created this page, and I knew that I was being drawn to the color blue. I don't know what it is about the color blue. What do you think? It just kind of it's a very deep color. There's so much meaning to it. I mean, colors hold lots of meanings, but I think blue in particular is very complex. So I want to revisit this color blue, but in more of a design-oriented way. I'm really just kind of interested aesthetically in that color right now, blue. So I'm gonna find a nice page to do my blue piece on, and then I'll show you what I brought today. Right here, this is it. I think I might work vertically today. I like the composition of these envelopes, this particular 2-page spread, because in a vertical composition, I like this yellow being at the top. It feels like a sunny sky to me. This feels like a mountain peak. And then this gray is continued around the border underneath this envelope on the next page. So, anyway, this is what I brought with me today. These are just scraps and various materials that I've collected over the years, and when I say years, I really mean it. Some of this stuff is so old, you would have no idea. But I'll just briefly kind of describe to you what each thing is. Some things I've made myself, some things I collected, or it's just like scrap material. So this is ornate tissue paper. This is a piece of paper that I was trying to use as a backdrop for a stop motion film. It was a whole process, but nonetheless, this resulted in a interesting textured piece of material. So there's that. Now these things are from a color wheel that I kid you not, I made this 12 years ago in my college painting course. I was learning to oil paint. Was it 10? Wait, how long ago was it? I took that course in, I guess it must have been 2013. So, okay, 9 years ago. Crazy. And then this is from these little tabletop signs that I made for my wedding. This is from an old sketch, mixed media sketch in a sketchbook I had. Just a piece of fabric with some polka dots. This is from an activity I did with elementary schoolers where we just used crayons and drew pictures of fruits and veggies. So these are my blueberries. This is a map, a piece of a map of Los Angeles. This is from a painting on paper. I think it was just a sketch that I did. Another piece of fabric, a piece of tissue paper, just blue. And this is from a mixed media sketch as well. It's got various things on it, like tissue paper, and there's like a block print in here, a fabric. This is also from a painting on paper, just a little piece of it. So, that being said, let's get started. So I kind of have had this idea in the back of my brain for a long time now, and it's actually very simple. But it'll be, I think that like even the simplest ideas can go a long way and can be very striking. This idea is just to take a variety of material with different textures and patterns, and I guess color a little bit. Colors vary. And just kind of line up the material. And I'm interested in doing this because I want to honor the material for what it is, not try to transform it too much, but to really just put it out there and let it be what it is. So it's going to be a simple lineup. It's actually, this is very reminiscent of my simplicity video where I just took these strips of tape and literally just lined them up. I didn't try to do any fancy designs or, create some other image out of them. I just simply laid them down and allowed them to be what they are, and I think they're beautiful in that way. So to do that, it's going to be something like taking the material and placing it one by one across the page. I want it to sort of read like a landscape. So in that way, what is further up towards the top of the composition is perceived as further away in space, and the things towards the bottom of the composition are perceived as closer in space. And I want to layer these on top of each other, so one is in front of the other. And when you're building an image, whether it's through painting or collage, oftentimes artists will focus on what's the furthest away first and build from the back forward, because the things in the back are going to be thinner, they're in space to be perceived as behind. So yeah, that's my thinking. And of course the material's all going to be pretty thick, but and it's not necessarily going to be thinner or whatever at the top, but that's going to be my driving strategy, and then whatever happens happens. We'll see. So let's just get started. Oh, and I've got my little spider plant here today. I hope that Clover doesn't try to eat it. That's all I'm saying. I like that I like kind of playing off of this mountain peak idea. I wanted to preserve that gray point of the envelope, but I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's okay. I'm just gonna let that go in favor of something better, even though I thought it might be a good idea. It's okay. Hello. Hi, we have a visitor. Here, baby, you want to sit down? This is why I lint roll my table before I start. I know that this is like sort of a, you know, with I think with landscapes, when it comes to mountains, we always want to like offset them, so it's like do 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 do, like right across. But I think I am just gonna put this baby right in front of this other peak, because I want to. I'm putting it right in front, or I'm putting it here, and not closer to. I'm leaving this much space because there's this like lightness on the edge of this piece, which I think is gorgeous. And then I love this sort of soft edge between where the ink begins, and I want to preserve that. I want you to be able to see that, so I'm scooting this over so that it's still in front of this piece. There's some contrast between the blue ink and this light blue piece next to it, and you can see that beautiful soft edge. It's still there. I always think about, what do I want to exclude and what do I want to preserve? I'm gonna cut your kitty hairs. Yes. No, I'm not. I would never do that to you unless you sat in glue. All right, can I take these? Thank you. Excuse me. Pardon me. I know these are like the highlight of sitting at my desk. You can sit on something here. Sit on this one. I'm not using it. Whoa. It's kind of a neat... See, and this is something I want to preserve right here too. This is very interesting to me. I can't preserve it all, but I'll do my best. I think maybe I can do this. And then... Oh my God, there's another map here. How do you like that? But before I put this down, I feel like I should develop the background of this area. So I'll keep this in mind. You know what? I don't care. I'm just gonna cut this and let the edge fly. Why not? Because we are breaking the barrier of the rectangle. All about it. These are objects. They have an objecthood. I can hold it in my hands. This is an object. And I love to emphasize that in allowing things to, you know, spill off the edges, because it has the ability to live beyond the ground, the base. I used to experiment with that a lot actually when I used to paint. I would use house paint, like I would pour the house paint onto a piece of plastic, something non-porous, and sort of allow it to drip and puddle and blend and mix in interesting ways. And then once it was dry, I would peel sections of those paint blobs off of the plastic and use them as collage material, because I thought it was interesting to create an object with paint. I just loved the idea of paint being something you could hold in your hands. And it's no surprise that I eventually moved on to collage. So I'm holding the piece down with my pinky and ring finger, and then lifting one side up to put down my glue. And this is so that I don't lose my place. So I'm gonna glue up one part of it down, and then that will sort of be like the anchor, and then I'll glue the rest. I like this downward direction of the design, sort of in these columns. It reminds me of a waterfall. But it also breaks up this kind of jagged stuff going on here. Baby girl. She's eating my spider plant. Get out of here. I love, okay, so you see how the top of this piece has a line, and then if I place it here, this line leads into the coastline of the map. And to top it all off, the highway is this gold color on the map, and it's the same kind of gold that you see here on the tip of this piece. My hand's shaking. It's almost like it was meant to be. Can you believe that? So, it's decided. That's what I'm gonna do. Right there. Okay. Right where the Santa Monica Freeway meets Ocean Avenue. Isn't that a song? Ocean Avenue. I have a little bin of little things it where I keep all of my tiny, 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 tiny little scraps. In here. Stick this in there. Keep it handy. Oh my god, that lid is like, woo, super dusty. Well, that's embarrassing. Not really. So I cut this so that it would line up with this line to be continuous, these edges, while at the same time covering up the gap here between this piece of fabric, see? And you can see like this background here. I wanted to sort of cover that up and simultaneously make these line up, as well as this stay on the page this time, instead of spilling off. I'm gonna glue it down and then rip along the edge so that there's something, so that there's a ripped edge along the top that's sort of free. Free in all of its objecthood. That's the word of the video. Objecthood. I like it. And then I don't know what to do with this square, but that looks pretty good, right? Why not? You get to be right here. You get to be in the game. You can join the party. There you go. Oh, and we can bring this guy back. Actually, I kind of like that right there, because we have a lot of angles going this way, and this you know, and it's sort of, and even this little pond swoops down this way. And so if we put it like, if we set this little guy here, we have this angle coming down this way, and it just sort of swoops us off into a nice ending. Let's do it. You get to join the party too. And now what's so fun about using a visual journal is whatever I end up using the next page for, this gray page underneath, whatever ends up on the edges will not only be a part of that page, but it will be a part of this page too. And they all the pages influence each other when you can see what's behind the other, and they all tie in together because it is a book or a visual journal, personal narrative, however you want to interpret that. Oh yeah, and my blueberries, last but not least. There you have it. So, and this is Kitty. The spider plant's name is Kitty. My spider plants have been through a lot, to be honest. Clover has a fascination with them. He likes to chew on them, so can't really have many of them around the house anymore, but it's okay. We keep the ones we do have in safe places. So, yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed this session, because I sure did. So, please please, 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 if you're not already, subscribe to this channel. Also, feel free to share this with art lovers in your life or people who enjoy relaxing, process-oriented experiences. And yeah, so thanks again, and I hope you have an awesome day.